Was a bachelor's and master's in creative writing worth it? Hard to say. Not sure. Ask again in a few years, and frankly, I resent the question. The certificates do look very pretty on my wall, the off-white paper looking all officious. I'm sure my nan is proud. As the one in the family perennially viewed as a waste of space, I can hide behind my qualifications, shielding myself from a blitzkrieg of judgment, comments about not having a career, a house, or having really figured anything out. In the sense of carrying up the academic ladder, very much so. I am now studying for a PhD, which I would not have been able to do without my BA and MA. In other senses, it is unlikely. At this point in the video, it would be trite, gauche, and even worse, cliché to offer a breakdown of my student debt. My student debt is currently around 70,000 English pounds, with another 15,000 in the process of being spent on PhD fees, so 85,000 in total. To date, I've earned around 50 English pounds from the sale of one short story, so if my maths is right, that means just on university fees alone, my writing currently owes me £84,950, not including interest. It is tempting for me to be nonchalant and blasé about this, suggesting that we not get bogged down in the materialistic view of intellectual pursuits. That's what the bad guys want us to do. How can we possibly put a numerical value on enlightenment? Surely I should have the attitude of a learner and not a consumer. But it would be naive not to recognise that had I pursued training in a more practical field, science, engineering, race car driving or back alley fireworks selling, I may have received a more substantial return on investment. Taking the bait and valuing my degrees solely on their contribution to the UK's economy, my undergraduate degree was not a complete failure. I found a graduate level position in PR before I had even finished my BA. Now, I did hate that job. Writing press releases and content for AI and tech companies made my soul feel grubby, and it did pay below the London living wage at a time I was living in London. But I can't blame my degree for that. Just the underlying miasma of corporate greed we find ourselves living in. This is around the time that the UK Conservative Party's rhetoric around low-value degrees was in the news, a line of attack I find particularly offensive. And no, this is not because of some insecurity about secretly feeling like I've wasted a considerable amount of time and money on a higher education that is unlikely to pay for itself. Probably. It's because it's the ugly, corporatist, anti-human language of GDP line must go up, growth at any cost materialism. I, for one, think the world is all the richer for basket weaving, lesbian dance theory and creative writing degrees. Surely, the world we build as a species should be able to sustain those who wish to paint, write, sing and dance for a living. But what about my writing? Putting aside any wider, meandering defensive musings, is this not the true marker of success? Has my so far 4 years of studying creative writing made me a better writer? Sure. Maybe. I think so. And can I attribute this to my university experience? Yeah. I think so. I'm certainly a better editor, my writing is more economical, I know that might not be evident from these essays, but you'll have to trust me, and my prose in general is leaner, with fewer clichés, tautologies, my ability to construct scenes and characters and arcs is more considered, and I read with a far more critical eye. It is hard to say for sure if this is a direct result of my education. The quality of writing is subjective, and if I have improved, it may well be down to the fact I am older and have written much more, rather than from the wisdom I've received from my tutors. But this is YouTube, for heaven's sake. The only thing that really matters is if I can synthesise what I've learned into a pithy, algorithm-friendly top 10 list. I expect I am enough of an imagination-devoid hack to do just that. Stay tuned.